There we go. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. I usually when I go live, I got a pretty good idea what I'm going to say. And then sometimes I go live and I'm like, I don't know if I want to start with that. I was going to start with some other stuff, but I'm going to switch it up. And I really should switch it up. Anyway, you'll see why just in a moment. But happy Monday to all of you. And happy 81st birthday to my mother, Patricia. That's right. Happy birthday, Mom. She's probably not watching. She's not really good at using these things. My mother lives at Marshgolden Manor. This is a photo from last year, obviously. We were celebrating her 80th birthday last year in January 11th. And that was just before all the stuff flew up and hit the fan, right? We'd heard this word. But my son Jason and I were able to celebrate last year. Now, I did have FaceTime with Mother today. I wonder how we would handle all of this craziness if we didn't have FaceTime or the interweb. Have you ever thought about that? If this happened in 1980, even the only people who had a cell phone, like it was Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell, and it was this big, right? And if you don't know who Zach Morris is, that's okay. If you know who Zach Morris is, you're as old as me. So happy birthday, Mom. I love you very much and was glad that I want to say thanks to Brett, her caretaker, caseworker, PSW, sorry, caseworker. You know what I mean. All the staff actually at Marshgolden Manor do a fantastic job. And Brett reached out to me to make sure that I could have that FaceTime with Mother today. So thank you, Brett, and all the staff there that look after everybody as well. So that's fantastic. And happy 81st birthday to my mother. There you go. Because if she ever found out that I didn't wish her a happy birthday on the show, well, I'd be in big trouble. Let's go to the comments. Say hello. Michelle says, happy birthday, Dave's mom. And happy Monday. Jeff, how are you? Happy Monday. Very good. And more wishes to my mother. That's great. Happy birthday, Dave's mom. Patricia. Yes. Patricia Burrows. And wherever you're watching from, we really appreciate you checking in and saying hello. And if you're too shy to type in the comments, at least click the like. Skip over the like. Give us some love. Can I do that? Is that how you do that? Give me some love. It helps us spread the word around here when you click the like button and say hello in the comments. Wherever you're watching from, we are broadcasting live, of course, here in Lambton County, but some friends of ours on Facebook have hubs that allow us to reach out to Australia, United Kingdom, South Africa, and all throughout the United States as well. So thank you to our Facebook friends who are doing that. And I want to say congratulations to StreamYard. If you don't know what StreamYard, this is the platform that I use to do the talk show here. And they were recently acquired for about $25 million from a company named Hopin. So they're still around. They're still going to be their own entity, but they've grown and their hard work's paid off, and they're going to keep things going the way they are. They like to connect with their users, but we're going to see some more really cool things as well. So congratulations to them. Who else is out there? Jesse, of course. What's the price of gas over there, Jesse? Jesse's my in over there at the Petro Canada at London Line and Finch Drive there. He's probably working. Carl, your mom's birthday's tomorrow. Oh, that's great. Well, happy birthday, and thanks for tuning in from Oshawa. How you doing up there? Ronnie, it was nice of you to reach out, and I'll be in touch with you, buddy. I won't forget about you. And Jeff, that was really good. So I want to ask the question, right? We're in this lockdown again. Are you treating it differently this time around? Are you saying, maybe need to take it a little more serious than we did the first time? Or did you take it serious the first time? Like, everybody's treated this thing different, right? Are you, let me know in the comments, how are you handling this the second time around? Because I hope you're ready. My opinion, like, we're here for a while again. It's not over in January. That's my opinion, but I would say that's probably very good. 85 new cases today, January the 11th. That puts things up to 1,309 cases here in Lambton County. So more records being broken. There are 17 outbreaks currently in Lambton County with 28 deaths. So, and yesterday, I believe, was record-breaking numbers just for Lambton County. never mind everywhere else. So it's the one time, you hear them say, numbers are up and to the right. That's usually a good thing when you're talking about money or finances. But in this case, we need things to come down the other way. So at the end of the day, it really comes down to doing what we need to do to bring it down. It's frustrating, My son asked me yesterday, he's like, do you think it'd be okay if I went and saw my girlfriend? And I was like, what do you think? The numbers are up. I get it. It's frustrating, right? And it's so repetitive, I know, but we've all got to do our part. If we don't, Doug Ford sent out a tweet earlier today. As we continue to battle this virus, I'm asking everyone to band together. We need to protect our most vulnerable as we roll out vaccines, and everyone has a role to play. He also mentioned that the vaccine, in a strong way, is not going to be around until about April. So as far as a large rollout goes. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And Doug Ford will be making an announcement tomorrow, January the 12th, Tuesday, if you're watching this live. You can follow the Facebook page of the show here, the show with David Burrows, for notifications, and I'll have the broadcast simulcast on our Facebook page as well. So I can tell you this, when all this started, right, like we were all like, WTF, and what is this all about, and is it really serious? We all had opinions, and we all still have opinions about it now. And as things progressed along, like I was involved in a lot of media calls, and all the media is involved in phone calls and emails and reports and all that sort of stuff. And I can tell you that the tone of voice changes when things are really not looking well. You can hear it in a voice, and you can really, if you pay close attention, you can read it in an email. So I can tell you by the tone of voice, you're not likely going to like what our Premier Doug Ford has to say tomorrow. And whose fault is it? Is it the virus's fault? Is it our fault? Their fault? I don't think, I've said this before, Facebook is great used properly, but it has given everybody a voice, and everybody's a journalist now because of Facebook, me included, right? But we've got to follow the guidelines. And we've got to be stricter than we were before. So tune in tomorrow. I believe it's going to be 1 o'clock. I'll post tomorrow morning on the Facebook page because I'll know better tomorrow what's happening there. Colleen says, hello from Sarnia. Yes, very cautiously staying in and no family gathering at all. I just want to see how others feel about the vaccine. I'm very iffy about it. Well, I think, why wouldn't you be iffy? It's something new. I'm not a medical doctor. I did not go to school. I know I say this all the time every week, but I didn't go to med school for 7 years. I'm not a lawyer either. I'm not, So to have an opinion about it, we can all have an opinion. We could probably do a whole show on that. Maybe I'll do something. Maybe I'll set something up. We'll do a talk show about what you think about the vaccine. I don't know. It could be a long talk show. But I guess you really just have to take a close look at the facts and try to figure it out and make our best educated decision for us. At the end of the day, right? Stop flights altogether also would help. Yeah, I would think so. I mean, if we're in lockdown, we're in lockdown. I mean, we can talk sports a little bit too. The NHL has been given permission to have some hockey games happen. I was listening to some of the details on that on CBC earlier this afternoon. But should they be allowed to do that? Why do they get allowed to do, why do we get to do this over there and this over there doesn't get to? And why should my son be staying here and going back to his mom's and coming back and forth? Should that be happening? I don't know. Maybe we'll do a show. Love your attitude and all this, Dave. Looking forward. Yeah, so Arron Sisson is going to be my second guest here today. And happy birthday, Dave. Love your silly clown. It's not my birthday. It was my mother's birthday, but thank you for that. Very true. Yeah. So, okay. Get ready for Doug Ford tomorrow. Should be interesting, right? Doug Ford did have a conversation today with health officials, so I'm sure the plans are in the works, and they probably have a pretty good idea already. Again, we will know more about that tomorrow. Michael Mariano and his partner, yes, they congratulations to them for doing a fantastic job. They are the two-time Canadian pair champions, Kirsten Moore-Towers of St. Catharines and Sarnia's own Michael Marinero, captured the senior pair gold medal Saturday at the 2021 Skate Canada Challenge. So congratulations to them. I had a brief chat with Michael earlier and congratulated him. And of course, you could see the smile in the text as we were communicating there. And I'm going to reach back out to him again. He's been on the show before. Hopefully we can get him back here to talk about that. Would be interesting. I think with all sports, if there's no audience there, because I think your energy, you'd feed off that energy for your performance. Same with basketball and hockey and everything else. So congratulations to them once again. Always nice to see some local victories happening there as well. Heavy Rescue 401. Of course, we had Colin Vandenheuvel from Preferred Towing, and him and his father, two of the stars from Heavy Rescue 401, started last Tuesday. So here's the promotion again. It's every Tuesday night on Discovery Channel at 10 o'clock Eastern. And I'm a huge fan. Love the family of Preferred Towing. They're fantastic. I've been friends for years and very proud of what they've accomplished, not only here in Heavy Rescue 401, but their business and what they do to give back here in the community. If you haven't heard of Ohana Landing yet, a youth transitional housing facility that the Vandenheuvels built, the old ABC Daycare Center on London Road. And even Heavy Rescue 401 and the company that puts that out on Discovery Channel has supported Ohana Landing by some financial donations, as well as letting them showcase it on Heavy Rescue 401 as well. So fantastic to see Heavy Rescue 401. I'm a little bummed only because Tuesday nights were like my Friday. I used to go down to Blue Line pub there and have a couple pints, and they put it on the big screen for me, and that was my Heavy Rescue 401 night. So now I got to do that at home, but all for the right reasons. So once again, congratulations to Heavy Rescue 401 and their 5th season. 5 seasons of Heavy Rescue 401. Are you a Heavy Rescue 401 fan? I know Carl is. And he's also asking about the OHL. Well, how's the OHL? Well, how do you think it is? They were supposed to start in February 5th, and some plans were in the works. I had conversations with the Sting to see if we could get back, maybe some live stream or whatever that was going to look like. But obviously, they put out an announcement about 3 weeks ago that that's a definite no-no until further notice. So that's all I know about that. And there's Alan all the way from Alberta, I believe, right? Thanks for joining us. All right. Well, be sure to check out all those. I'll post all the links to what's happening with the Premier Ford's broadcast tomorrow and all the other things that we've talked about as well. Be sure to be following the Facebook page for that. Now, with other things happening out in the community, we say Lambton County, and I'm going to say this, sometimes there's a direction over that way, towards Gren Bend way. I'm not sure that we always think of that as Lambton County, but it is. And the Lambton Heritage Museum have got some fantastic things. I even remember going there as a young boy. That's great memories there. And they're still going strong out there. And we've got Colleen Inglis joining us today from the Lambton Heritage Museum. Thanks for being here, Colleen.
Hi, yeah, thanks for having me.
It's you heard sort of that intro there. Is it true? Do you kind of get forgotten out Lambton County way there because you're towards your Gren Bend, right?
Yeah, well, we hope not, but that's a possibility.
Yeah. How long? Tell everybody what your title is and what you do there at the Lambton Heritage Museum.
Yeah, so I'm the educational program coordinator here at Lambton Heritage Museum. So I plan educational programs usually for schools, although we can't do them in person at the moment, and all kinds of events and activities and things to involve the public and help them to learn about what we have here at the museum and Lambton County's history. Yeah,
so that had to be obviously a challenge starting back in March when everything hit the fan, so to speak. And but you've come through it well, though, being able to adapt to what you need to do. And are you still, with online learning, is there still some connection with the schools at all?
Yeah, we're still trying to put more content available on our website for people who are at home and for teachers that they can use as well.
Fantastic. And then, of course, the general public, like you heard me say, it's been there for years, right? I remember my mom taking me as a young boy and going there on school trips. It was always, we were always excited because we got out of class, right? But then we got there and then there was all kinds of fantastic things. And it's really grown over the years. as far as the museum goes, to the point where have you actually had to say no to people where, sorry, we don't have room for that?
It's like in terms of people donating
Yeah.
historical items. I think it really depends on what the item is. If there's a strong connection to Lambton County, then we would really try to accommodate it however we could.
Yeah. Are you still getting, are people still reaching out to you, the general public, and saying, you know, what's going on there? Or are you having to reach out more to the public?
We were able to be open to the public until just before Christmas. So people were coming in and we were quite busy, you know, in the early fall. So it'll probably be a bit more of a challenge moving forward, but hopefully we can involve the community through other ways.
Right. Well, I see on your Facebook page there that you do have videos that you post on there with different activities that occur. So you're certainly taking advantage of social media, which is fantastic. But you've got a special a community project, I guess, that's happening right now. Talk about that.
Sure. Yeah. So we just started our Community Photo Challenge, and it started last Monday. And it's actually something we've been planning since the fall. So not really intending to be closed to the public at this time, but
right.
I guess the timing worked out. Yeah, so it's a community photo challenge, and it's supposed to go along with an exhibit that we have up currently. There's also, the content is available on our website as well, but it's capturing the moment, and it relates to photography in Lambton County, the history, the photographers who used to practice here. And we also partnered with some local camera clubs for that exhibit. And as a tie into that, we wanted to plan something that would get the community out there and taking photos and doing something with their free time this winter. So that's where the Community Photo Challenge comes in.
And you're getting a good response from this from what I've seen on the Facebook page, and what you're talk about what you're sharing here on the screen.
Sure. Yeah. So these are a selection of historical photos from the museum's collection and also the collection at the Lambton County Archives. And we look through the collection to try and find some photos that people could reimagine or recreate. So we selected two categories. There's a snow category and a people category. So you're seeing some of the photos from each of these categories in this picture. The rest of them are all on our website. And the idea is that people can go on our website, look at the photos, and use them as inspiration to take their own photos.
And, you know, I look at these family photos there. I mean, obviously, these are really from a long time ago. The different fashions and the different styles. I mean, even to the mustache. And then, so a lot of families are bringing in their own family photos as well and showing their history of families. Is that what you're getting?
Yeah, you can do that too. So see the photo there of the man and the woman. You could recreate that, just a man and a woman posed in a similar way, and submit that as part of the challenge. But you could also take a historical or an old photo from your collection and try and recreate that. Just make sure you submit both of them to us so we know what you're doing and what was your inspiration.
Now, are these photos coming directly to you, Colleen?
Yes.
So you must really, like, do you get a wow, like every time you see something that comes in? Are you amazed by what you're receiving?
Yeah, for sure. One of our inspiration photos is of the Blue Water Bridge and in the wintertime and ice under there. And it's some of the photos that have come in that category have been really spectacular so far.
Yeah, and the Blue Water Bridge is certainly a photographer's favorite. I mean, I think even with our phones, we've all taken a picture of the Blue Water Bridge. And as much as that structure remains the same, every single one of those pictures is unique in its own way. For
sure. And we definitely have some talented photographers in our county.
Yeah. What's so moving forward from the Community Photo Challenge? What other kind of things, now that you're back in lockdown, like you said, you had this plan before this, have you been meeting again to reassess and go, okay, here we go again, now what?
Yeah, so there's fortunately at the museum, there's all kinds of behind the scenes work that always needs to be done as well. So we have that kind of on the back burner. We have still one more digital lecture in our digital lecture series related to the Capturing the Moment exhibit, and that's coming up later this week on Thursday. And people can register for that, or by going online. It's via Zoom. You can also see on our website all of the old lectures that have already been done as well.
Oh, they're staying up on the website?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And then I guess moving ahead beyond that, we hope to be able to invite people to the museum as soon as possible, but if not, there'll be more content appearing on our Museum at Home section of our website. And there's always, come March or even late February, the return of the swans to the local area. So that's something that the public can be involved in, whether or not they can come and see the exhibit here at the museum.
Right. Now, we talked to, I'm going to join this one actually, because I recently decided to get a camera and try to be the world's famous photographer, right? But so that, I mean, I'm looking at this picture. That's pretty old and unique.
Yes, for sure.
Are we going to see a lot of this type of stuff?
I'm not sure exactly. I haven't seen the presentation yet myself.
Okay.
But there's definitely also on our website, there's information about the Capturing the Moment exhibit and some of the historical items we have in the collection as well. That's been on display and hopefully can be open again to the public.
So when this presentation that's coming up this next week, who does the presentations? Are these people from the museum, or is this folks in the community that you've connected with?
Well, this presentation will be given by Eugene Pruski, and he's a member of the Port Franks and Area Camera Club.
Okay.
So I think the Port Franks Camera Club collaborated to do previous lecture as well, and then we've had some local photographer, Richard Belland. He did one in the community too about his movie star photography, and it's
Richard
really
is amazing
too. Yeah, it's a really good lecture to check out. It's still available on our website. And then we also had Nicole Aslows from the Lambton County Archives talk about how to look after historical photos and take care of your own personal collection that you might have of those.
Right. I want to ask you a question. And it might be a personal opinion of yours, but history. We talk about history, and of course, when we were young, at least I remember when I was younger, it was like, oh, boring. History's boring, right? But it's really not. I guess we appreciate it more as we get older. But is the history appreciation still there?
I think so. I think it's one of the best ways is to try and make that connection, like with something that, what it's like to take photos now, and then think about what it was like to take photos 100 years ago and compare that, because then you can kind of relate the two, and you think, oh, well, that's really difficult compared to what we have to do now, or that's really complicated. But then things might be the same too, like how to compose a photograph. So that's, I think, just trying to make that connection and see where things that happened in the history can relate to things that you know about in your current life.
It's so different now, right? I mean, like, you don't like that photo, just delete it and do it over again. Whereas before you took that photo, right? And we've all got a camera now, of course, one of these things, right? But I will say, and I can say this because I know Richard pretty well, he'll still say, yeah, but you still need the real cameras. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite part in all of this? You obviously are passionate and about your job, you enjoy it, but do you have a favorite part?
Well, I like to learn about the objects myself, and then try and, because I find that really interesting for me, and then to try and get other people interested in that as well. And because I find it really interesting to try and figure out how to make it interesting for other people. Right.
Well, I'd say you're doing a great job, and it's nice to see that the museum is taking advantage of social media and implementing the different digital lectures that you have as well. So thanks for sharing that. I always like to ask, is there anything else that you want to add before I let you go?
No, I think I've covered it, but just if anyone wants to participate in the Community Photo Challenge, all the information is available on Lambton Heritage Museum's website, and that's www.heritagemuseum.ca. And there's all kinds of other information and activities and lots of different links you can explore there.
Fantastic. Colleen, thanks so much for your time. I hope you'll come back again soon and give us an update of what's happening.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Colleen Inglis from the Lambton Heritage Museum joining us here today. Look at that. Fantastic. And I do like to see that you're taking advantage of social media and using that. A lot of people weren't always using this social media thing, and then the pandemic showed up and was like, okay, I guess we better start using that. So it's nice to see that they're using that out there. So thanks again to Colleen for joining us. And you can see the website up on the screen if you want to find out more information. You can also go to their Facebook page and get involved in the Community Photo Challenge. Looks like a lot of fun. And I'm going to check out the digital lecture that's coming up on January the 14th at 7 o'clock for the digital lecture, The History of Photography. That'll be an interesting one for sure. Thanks again, Colleen. All right, well, moving on. You hear me talk a lot about follow your passion and be positive and don't let things get in your way and don't let people get in your way and just do what you love, right? And that's a great introduction to my next guest. I've known him for a few years now, and it's been very enjoyable to watch him from afar and to see him growing into what he wants to do for himself. And there's my friend Arron Sisson. Hello, sir.
Hey, how are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. Look at you in your studio there. You're making me look bad, man. I got pictures hanging on the wall. You look like sports paraphernalia there and everything.
It took a long time to put it all together, but I'm happy to have it all together now, and yeah, having a lot of fun with it.
You won't want to. I don't want to change it. It's too much work.
No, yours looks incredible.
Well, it represents who you are and what your passion is. You heard me say, we've known each other for a few years now, and I've seen you probably 5 years or 7? Well, geez, probably longer than over 5 years.
Yeah, I want to say it was maybe back in 2012. I want to say.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I've had the show for 9 years, so it wasn't shortly after. There you go. Wow.
Yeah.
So you are a huge fan of music and sports, but would you say wrestling, that's your number one passion?
Yeah, I would say for sure. Like, I always loved it as a kid, and in high school, obviously, like, you kind of find other passions, and I grew away from it a bit in high school and didn't watch it as much as I would say. And I think one thing that really played a lot of weight into me not watching it anymore was Eddie Guerrero passing away back in the day, because he was one of my favorites. And just when that happened, it was really tough for me to watch it. And me and Katie actually went to Comic-Con, I want to say in in London in 2016. And it was our first time at a Comic-Con, and we found this wrestling booth, and it was Smash Wrestling. And I went up to one of the wrestlers there. It was a guy who I recognized from TV. It was Braxton Sutter. And I just said, hey, man, like, this is incredible. I'm from Sarnia. I was working at the station at the time, and I was putting on other shows and stuff. I love promoting, just anything I could get my nose into. I always, me, I always have.
Yep.
And I asked him, I just said, what would be the chances of bringing this to Sarnia one day? And after a little bit of negotiation, he put me in contact with the owner of Smash, and we ended up making it work out. And I had 5 events with them in Sarnia. Went on to work 4 other ones with another company, and then now I'm working on my own with Chem Valley Wrestling.
Yeah, well, it's really progressed over the years, and I remember you had me. I appreciate too that you had me involved in one of the events where I was the ring announcer.
Yeah, was that at River City? That was our first one.
It was.
Yeah, that was our first one we did at River City. That was awesome.
Yeah, and I have my entertainment skills I can put into it. And I thought, oh yeah, well, that shouldn't be no big deal. But wow, I can tell you when I got in that ring, I was scared.
Yeah.
There was one guy, I couldn't pronounce his name, and he got mad at me and came right in my face. And then there was another guy, if you said his name, I'd remember. there was a challenge against, I think, him and Brian White actually, and
Anthony Kingdom James.
yeah, Anthony,
Yeah.
and he was like yelling at me and get out of
I
the
think
ring.
he was
And
a little
I
upset
went over in
that
the
night.
corner, and then he almost was getting ready to throw me out of the ring. I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
So like, all right, I'm just the ring announcer, and it was really quite an experience. Well, what is it about wrestling that said to you, I want to do that?
Honestly, I just watching it when I was a kid, like I fell in love with it so much. Like I used to just like set up all my wrestlers, and I'd spend days and days just like making little different setups, and I'd have like wrestling matches. I think I broke probably about 3 or 4 beds on my mom when I was a kid, just because like I loved it so much. It was instilled in me, and like I never knew that it was something that I could actually go and pursue and like go to school for. Which like right before this pandemic, I was starting to actually go down with Brian White to Tyson Dukes' school and like pursue it. And like I knew like it's just always been something that I've wanted to do. And like getting into it, the promoting side first is a little bit backwards, especially in the wrestling industry. But I just like I said, whenever I can put my nose into something, I always have.
Yeah. And so you go to school, like I get going to school to be a wrestler. Like, are you going to be a wrestler, or are you going to learn?
To learn wrestling. So like in the wrestling industry, you usually have to go to school first, like get the green light from a trainer and all that. And like before you can go out and work matches, because like it's one of the most important things about wrestling is obviously being safe and whatnot, knowing what you're doing in there. And, you know, like you got, it's one of the most important things. So like through promoting, I just kind of learned that like I should really learn the other side of the wrestling business, because I think it'll be really beneficial to me, even if I don't ever wrestle, just to know what these guys are going through training to get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, you've had some Chem Valley Wrestling events before the pandemic, right?
Yeah. We got kicked off in October 2019. I did one at River City, and then we did another one in January 10th. And that one was really good. Like we were really picking up steam. We had like standing room only. Me, Tyson Dukes, and Tyson's son Ethan put Brian White through a door that night.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was.
I think I was watching an episode. Was it last week? You had Brian White on.
Yeah,
and I saw that, and I was like, "How do you fake that?"
Brian was talking a little bit of smack, and
he was yelling at you. He's mad at you.
Yeah, a little bit. I think he's still mad at me. What was supposed to happen was we were supposed to have a match out of that, me and Ethan versus Brian, and an Extreme Rules match, and that was only because Brian came out and thought he deserved a title shot in my company, right. And I was just trying to show him like, you can't come into my company and suggest a title shot. You have to work for it. And so we kind of set it up, and I had a couple people from the school tell me that he was going there and talking smack about Chem Valley Wrestling and saying it wasn't going to work out. So I set it up that night, me and Tyson. I made it look like Brian was going to go in there and kind of save things, and then I sent Ethan in after him, and then the rest is history. We put him through a door, and we were supposed to have.
You had to teach him a bit of a lesson and kind of say like, "Hey, man, I'm the boss, and this is mine, and you're going to do it my way," or you just. Is that kind of what the message was?
Exactly. Yeah. He came, like he was in the ring earlier in the night after he had won his match. And he went on the mic and suggested a title shot. Like he deserved a title shot. So I just kind of had to put him in his place. Yeah. And I mean, that's something that I've had to do over time, like learn in the wrestling industry. Those are things you got to do, unfortunately, even if they are friends.
You know what? Like Brian's, like even on the show, like he's got a bit of a big mouth on him. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like he was swearing at you and stuff. Like, you come on a show and you swear. Like I thought it was, that was the part I tuned in, and I thought, well, Brian White, is he getting, like because he's had some wins. Over
I can see why he's mad.
Throwing his city councilor weight around there or what?
I think so. Like, and I mean, that night he actually gifted me this bell. So like it was, I think the whole thing kind of took him by surprise. So I can see why he's mad. He's still sending Chem Valley Wrestling like medical bills for his like back problems and whatnot. So.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
But I've seen him like I don't know. He's been pretty hard on himself before. Like And it couldn't be that bad because I remember a few years ago we saw him wrestle, and then he went into Dancing with the Stars and stuff.
Yeah, I broke his arm that night, and then the next day went and
now he's crying. Now he's crying about going through a little door.
I know.
Yeah,
insane.
I understand. Well, maybe we'll have to another time down the road. We'll have you back, and maybe we can have Brian here on the show to defend himself. I guess
that'd be awesome. I appreciate you having me on the show. Like. You've helped me out a lot over the years, and you were talking a little bit about social media before this, and I have to say in Sarnia, you're absolutely, well, in the wrestling terms, you're the innovator of social media in Sarnia.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that, and glad to help. And like I say, I've been watched over the years. You grow, and you try this thing and it doesn't work, you go on to another, and any successful person does that, right? As long as you just keep going, and some things have worked and then some things didn't, and that's okay. You go on to a different direction.
You just got to never give up. And I mean, like, especially right now in these times, like you said at the start of the show, you just got to stay positive, and like, you know what I mean? You can't, there's no change in the situation that we're in right now. You just got to stay positive, and yeah, that's what I'm trying to do with the show and everything. And yeah, it's
so people can go. Yeah. So let's talk about your show, the Chem Valley Wrestling show, right? And you've decided to do this because of the pandemic now. Are you doing this every day, are you? Or
well, just right now, like, I don't even know what I want to do with it really, Dave. Like I have a bunch of ideas really. Like I love sports, and like I'm just reconnecting. It's fun to especially right now, we can't go see friends, like old friends and whatnot that are home, and it's fun to reconnect with these people that I haven't seen in a couple of years or since high school, and just have a conversation about what they're up to, what they've done, and kind of just sticking to the sports and kind of sticking to people who I know and have relationships with right now. But I don't really know where I want to take it. Like, I found a love in MMA the last year, and I think that's what really sparked this. Last month, I got to interview like one of my heroes, Ariel Helwani. Yeah, he's with ESPN, and like he just gave me the motivation. He said, like, I told him that I wanted to do a podcast. He said at the end of the interview, he said, if I have any like suggestions for you, just go and do that podcast. Like, don't wait. Like, that's what I did, and that's what I did to get to where I am today. So like, just keep working. Like, it's not going to happen in a day. It's not going to happen in a year. It's not going to happen in 10 years. It took me 13 years. So just keep grinding. And like, journalism isn't even something that I obviously, I don't know if I want to go after. I just love sports, and I'm in school right now. Actually, I just pursued it in September for sports and recreation management, and it's really opened my eyes, and I think it's matured me a lot too, like going to school and just like, I didn't think school would ever be what it is, especially online.
Well, I hear you, because I teach a course from the college, right? And
what class is that?
I teach live streaming, which is part of the esports and entrepreneurship program.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that an elective possibility, or?
No, I know it's just no, it's part of the esports program.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But well, we should talk and collaborate, because I was getting ready to start a sport. It was called Sports Scenario.
Yeah.
The pandemic showed up, and then I kind of haven't done anything. But myself and some others have been talking, and maybe that's something that we could do together and make happen, right?
I would absolutely.
I'm not really the big sports guy. Let's be honest out there. For anybody watching that knows me, my buddy Tully would say, "You don't even know how to spell sports, right?" but I know how to talk, and I know how to lead it, and I can play my role and all that, right? I'm starting to Sting for.
I was just gonna say, you've done an incredible job with everything, not just the Sting, like the Pacers, everything in Sarnia. You're, like I said, you're the innovator of social media and really promoting everyone. So it's great to have someone like you in our community, and a platform for many people like me to come and kind of promote what we do.
Well, I appreciate your kind words. I'll definitely have you back now. And you use because I use StreamYard here as well. You use StreamYard as well.
Which is another reason why I'd love to connect.
Or did you just find it?
No, I actually through the wrestling, a bunch of the guys were using it, so I figured it out through that, and then I went to it back in like October. I bought a month. I didn't even use it. I just was like, oh, I'm gonna check out this thing, and then I figured it out with like a little bit of. It's like I'm still learning on it too. So like I think there's still a lot I can learn. So I'd love to even just connect and get some insight from you on all of this. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it's great what you've been doing, and so now you've got this show, and you just started. You're not sure, who knows, because you're in college, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are you taking in college?
Sports and recreation management.
Right. Okay. So who knows what direction your life's going to take? So it's right now you're doing this because of pandemic, and you're just trying to figure it out whether it's maybe something you want to keep doing or
exactly. I had a couple, like I was talking with Troy Shantz the other night. He mentioned you even when we were talking about people who were producing stuff in Sarnia, and he suggested just like maybe doing like little like chapters or series, like have like a Sarnia Imperial special or something like that, where just I don't know where I want to go with it. It's right now I'm just kind of doing like as much as I can within this 28 days that I have, like, because I'm laid off too. I was working at Sticks and Stones Indoor Golf in Sarnia.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's really nice. I got in there before the pandemic as well a couple of times. It's really nice in there.
It's amazing in there, and I was loving it, man. And unfortunately, this is the first time I've had to be not have a job during the lockdown. So I tried to stay positive, and I wanted to put something out for people and like try and show that I'm trying to stay positive through all this, because I think that's all we can do right now.
Well, what's the alternative, right?
Exactly.
And surround yourself with the right people. Speaking of surrounding yourself with the right people, and this it's going to go to his head if he's watching, but our friend Jake Chersky, he's been a big supporter and a fan of you as well. And I know you talk about the Imperials, and he's been doing some great things in our community as well. So that's something you definitely, you've known each other a long time, and because I know he supported you quite a bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Since back in the Sting days. And then I actually, during the pandemic a little bit, I was helping him out at his shop. I seen you there a couple times, and yeah, I just like, he's been a huge help. And like with football and everything.
Kind-hearted guy.
Exactly. With football and everything, I think that kind of just brought our relationship even more together. So I'm really happy to have him in my life.
Yeah. Now you're engaged to be married, right?
Yeah.
And obviously that's on hold right now. But and I'm sorry, what's her name?
Katie Wright.
Katie. So how does she feel about all of this? Because like you're engaged, if you're going to be married, like she's kind of got to be on board with this, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, with the wrestling thing at the start, and I don't talk about this too publicly often. Like there was obviously like a time where I was going through a lot of trouble with it. I was losing a lot of money and whatnot. And she was really worried for me, but she stuck by my side the entire time and has been so supportive. And I honestly can't thank her enough for it, because there was one point where I was like, what did I do to myself here? I thought I was going to hate wrestling, but I just tried, like I said, I stayed positive, and luckily I have surrounding myself with incredible people. Like you said, her, Jake, you, there's a lot of great people in this community that I have to thank for all my success. So,
well, congratulations on the success that you have. And I think honestly, even though it seems like a while, I really think you're just getting started with all of this.
Absolutely.
And, I see you doing more, and school's going to be good for you regardless. I think, like you said, it's helped mature you in a lot of ways, and I can see that in you for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're a young man, you're growing, and you're trying to decide what you want to do, and you're at least not sitting around twirling your thumbs, going, "What am I going to do?"
Yeah, for sure.
You can sit around all day and do that, but you've taken action, and that action is helping you figure it out. Which is good for you. Absolutely. That.
Thank you so much.
So when the pandemic disappears, or whatever that looks like, or when that looks like, obviously we're going to be looking forward to seeing Chem Valley Wrestling doing a public event again.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. We were going to try and do something there throughout the summer, but it's just, it's with everything, having to bring everything to Sarnia. Like, we rent our ring from another company in another city, and right now it's just, times are so tough, and we're going to wait it out until things are safer. And we got some plans with some great people here in town. Like we were going to collaborate with Valley Acts and do a show out there in the summer. And obviously things didn't happen, but we got lots of great plans for the future, and I'm really looking forward to it. Well,
let me know when that happens. Give me a call. Maybe I'll invite myself to be a guest ring announcer or something. You know what? I'd like to be in the ring with Brian White.
Perfect.
Not as a wrestler necessarily, but I think I could keep things under control.
Oh, for sure. I think who knows, maybe even a special guest referee for our match.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I think, we gotta keep an eye on that Brian White guy, because I wasn't really happy about the way he spoke to you the other day, but I
There
guess
we go.
we'll see what happens. It's at least he didn't hit you over the head with the bell.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. Well, Arron, I always like to say to my guests, anything else you want to add before you go?
I don't think so. No. Just everyone stay positive and be good to each other. I think that's the most important thing right now.
Fantastic. And proud of you so much, Arron, and I appreciate you taking the time to join me here on the show. And I'll be watching your Chem Valley Wrestling show as it progresses along as well.
Thank you so much, David. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Arron Sisson from Chem Valley Wrestling. Glad to have him here. And it's nice to see him progressing and doing the things that he wants to do. He's doing what he loves. He's a fan of music, but he's definitely a fan of wrestling, and he's doing it. And like he said, he's trying to figure it out, but he's not just sitting around waiting for it to happen. He is making it happen. And I love seeing people like that do those kind of things. Looking forward to it. I did say, Brian White, like if you're watching, like just be careful, right? Like Aaron's a good kid and he's doing good stuff. Just don't be too hard on him there. Anyway, we'll see where that leads. I'm probably going to get a call or a message now. Who knows? All right. Well, thanks to both of my guests. I want to say thanks to Colleen from the Lambton Heritage Museum for talking to us about their community photo challenge. And of course, once again, my guest, Arron Sisson from Chem Valley Wrestling, talking to us here today. And I want to say thanks to all of you, of course, because without you guys being here, I wouldn't have anything to do here, right? So I always like to give some more plugs for my friend Domingos Fernandez, who wrote his book, My Journey with MS, now available on Amazon. He is struggling a little bit with his health at the moment, so we wish him the best as well. And you can help support him and support the MS Society by going on to Amazon and ordering his book, My Journey with MS. And again, also a shout out to Marilyn Gladue, our MP, for Tales of the Globetrot, also available on Amazon. And of course, all of our supporters and sponsors, Huron Signs SWO and AG Event Graphics, Active Ears Hearing Center, Hughes Intelligence Security Specialist, Joe's Tire. The weather hasn't been, you still got time to get those snow tires on. I'm telling you, you don't want those summer tires on there. Summer, sometimes they work. And our friends at Oswald's. Oswald's Diner, by the way, also has macs and cheese. They have sliders, and now they have donaires. Like, I'm telling you, delicious. So go to Oswald's on Facebook to find out more about what they're offering, or you can go to oswalds.com, and they've been great supporters here on the show. I'm very grateful to Karen and Art for their support. And as we talked about them, well, not behind his back, because we were saying nice things, our friend Jake Chersky at Philly Cheese Jakes for being a great supporter here as well. And of course, I'm always grateful for all of you. Stay safe out there. Let's get those numbers down and do our part. Follow the guidelines. Wear your mask. And don't try to turn things around so that the rules work for you. Let's just follow the guidelines and take care of each other. That's all the time I got for you this week. Have a great week and an even better weekend. I will see you next time right here on the show. Bye for now.